Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The courtroom was packed to capacity, the air thick with tension, curiosity, and the faint rustle of reporters shuffling their notes as the latest chapter of the Sister Wives saga unfolded. A chapter that no one could have predicted would become the ultimate vindication for Christine Brown and Janelle Brown. The two women had been subjected to what they described as manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional neglect by Kody Brown, the patriarch whose once polygamous family had disintegrated in front of the cameras for years. However, this court day was different. As Christine and Janelle sat side by side in the courtroom, poised but clearly filled with a quiet satisfaction that had been hard-earned after years of public humiliation, the polished wood panels seemed to absorb every whisper. The women weren't here just for a simple property dispute or a contractual disagreement. They were here because Kody's latest betrayal, revealed in jaw-dropping detail, had become the smoking gun that proved they had been telling the truth all along. At the center of the storm was Coyote Pass, the sprawling piece of land in Flagstaff that had once been marketed by the Browns as the dream homestead for the entire family. It had been a constant source of drama over the years, with things like delayed building plans and whispered accusations about who really owned what. However, the betrayal that was exposed in court involved more than just land. It also involved money, loyalty, and the ugliness of the relationships that had previously been marketed to the general public as a harmonious plural marriage. According to court documents, Kody had allegedly leveraged portions of the property, which the women believed to be theirs, as collateral in a private, off-the-books loan deal tied to a luxury property outside of Sedona, without informing Christine or Janelle. Even more shocking, the loan was allegedly used not for family purposes, but to purchase a lavish retreat that court testimony claimed had been a secret getaway spot for Kody and Robin. The revelation sent shockwaves through the courtroom. As the attorney spoke, Christine's eyes narrowed, and Janelle, always the more reserved of the two, exhaled slowly, as if letting go of years of unresolved anger. For years, both women had faced accusations from some corners of the fanbase that they were bitter, exaggerating, or seeking to damage Kody's reputation. However, under oath and with financial records displayed on the screens of the courtroom, their claims were no longer speculation but facts. The personal details that came out made the betrayal even worse. Text messages in which he allegedly told Janelle that she had no legal rights to the land because she had chosen to rent rather than build on it, and emails in which he allegedly dismissed Christine's prior financial contributions to the family as her obligation as a wife. As Kody, seated rigidly at the defense table in a tailored suit that appeared to hang awkwardly on his tense frame, refused to make eye contact with his ex-wives, the audience gasped. His attorney attempted to spin the financial maneuver as a family strategy gone misunderstood, but the evidence was damning. Not only did Kody allegedly fail to disclose the loan to his other wives at the time, but the repayment plan had been tied directly to TLC earnings, which meant that Christine and Janelle had indirectly been funding his secret Sedona retreat without their knowledge. Christine, whose years of smiling through pain had been a hallmark of her public persona, leaned forward slightly as her attorney recited the timeline of events. When fans realized that Kody's tense body language and evasive responses might have been the result of juggling this hidden betrayal, the dates perfectly matched key scenes from the show. Janelle, the pragmatic problem solver, was equally engaged, scribbling notes and whispering occasionally to Christine. To them, this wasn't just about the money. It was about reclaiming the narrative that had been twisted for so long. In one particularly tense moment, the judge, clearly unimpressed with Kody's shifting explanations, asked directly why he had not informed Christine or Janelle of the loan. Kody's answer, which began as a rambling defense about complex family dynamics and protecting the unity of the family, was interrupted when the judge raised a hand and said, "This isn't about unity. You destroyed trust in this situation." Those words hung in the air like a verdict before it was delivered. Thanks to a few quick-fingered reporters live tweeting from the back row, social media exploded with hashtags like #VindicatedChristine and #JusticeForJanelle, becoming trending within minutes. Courtroom spectators exchanged glances. Longtime fans who had once wavered in their support for the women now had tangible proof that the man they had once called the glue of the family had been pulling it apart from behind the scenes. During breaks, the atmosphere was electric outside the courthouse. Supporters of Christine and Janelle waved homemade signs, some reading Team Janelle in glitter paint, others holding up printed screenshots of the most incriminating texts revealed during testimony. With expressions that fans hadn't seen in years, the two women alternated stepping outside to greet fans. Janelle, who was always present, simply stated, "It's about closure and fairness," while Christine made a joke to one reporter, "I guess the truth really does set you free." In stark contrast, Kody and Robyn quickly left the building each day, avoiding eye contact and responding to shouted questions from the media. Even though Robyn was not technically on trial, her connection to the betrayal was impossible to ignore because her name had been mentioned multiple times inside in relation to the Sedona retreat. Witnesses said they saw her at the property, and one former friend even said she heard Robyn talking about finally having a space that's ours, away from the chaos, according to the testimony. That statement alone caused murmurs to ripple across the courtroom gallery. As the proceedings continued, it became clear that this was more than a property dispute. It was a symbolic reckoning. After leaving the marriage, Christine and Janelle, who had previously been portrayed as difficult or disloyal, were now shown to have stood up for themselves in the face of deliberate deception. The court case peeled back the glossy veneer of the sister wives brand and exposed the financial entanglements, secret communications, and questionable decisions that had kept the family tethered long after love and trust had evaporated. The point was emphasized in the judge's final remarks before recess. In family matters, transparency is not optional. It is the foundation upon which trust is built. And once that trust is broken, the damage is not just financial, it is personal. Christine's hand rested briefly on Janelle's as they stood to leave, a small gesture that spoke volumes about solidarity and shared vindication. Fans online began speculating that the outcome of this case could fundamentally change the dynamic of any future TLC seasons, if there would even be one. Some argued that Kody's image was now irreparably damaged, that even a network known for courting controversy would hesitate to center him after such public revelations. Others suggested that the women could use their victory in court to create a spin-off that finally told their side of the story without Kody's voice taking center stage. Whether or not that happens, one truth became undeniable in that courtroom. Christine and Janelle had been right all along, and Kody's disgusting betrayal had not only confirmed it but had done so under oath, in front of the world. As Christine and Janelle walked down those courthouse steps together, heads held high, it was evident that the weight of years of manipulation had finally been lifted. The power dynamic had changed for the first time in years. The battle wasn't over. There were still rulings to be made, assets to be divided, and perhaps more secrets yet to surface. But in that moment, in the glare of the cameras and the roar of supportive cheers, vindication had never felt so sweet.